Hey everybody, welcome back to On the Road to Dr. Effin. I'm Javeda Bay, and this is my web series where I take you along on my journey of being a Black woman in academia, getting two PhDs. And I know it's been a minute. You're probably like, are you even still a school girl? You hadn't posted a video in so long. That's how you know I'm still in school, y'all. But yes, I am. And I'm going to catch you up on all the things because you're probably super curious. So if you are new here, just a little catch up. I am in two PhD programs. I'm working on my PhD in human sexuality at the California Institute of Integral Studies, and I'm working on a PhD in communication and media studies at the University of Oregon. Why, you might ask? Because I wanted to look at the intersections of media and sexuality, and I had a practical background in media in the sense that I worked in the entertainment industry and obviously have this YouTube channel and everything. But I didn't have like the academic theoretical knowledge, and so I wanted that. And I was like, why would I just do a master's when I could do a PhD? Plus, UO is fully funded, so that's a lot of the why. But I am now in year two at the University of Oregon and technically year four at the California Institute of Integral Studies. The catch up point. First things first. I finished year one. We did it. Woo! At UO. It was interesting, especially because I've never done like a traditional PhD program, obviously. CIS is set up with a hybrid program, so I only ever had to go to campus one weekend a month. And outside of that, I was always just like at home. The University of Oregon, I literally have to be at the University of Oregon. I have a teaching position as a TA, also what we call a GE, which is just a graduate employee. And so with all of that, I had not been used to that setup before. I'm used to just like you out here doing your own thing, figure it out, make it work. But after finishing year one at UO, I absolutely love it. I should have known better. I literally am the type of student that needs to be there to do it. Having to go to campus, sit in classes every day, weekly, is what I need for the structure of being in school. And it's also been a game changer in how I've been doing with this PhD program. I'm already able to see a lot of differences between UO's PhD program and the other one and how I performed in both of them. And it's been really good to influence how I'm going to finish the rest of my PhD at CIS. Now that we are on the topic of CIS. So, if you didn't know, I passed my comps exam last year, and then I had to do my lit review. And then I wrote it, and I didn't pass it the first time, and I had to redo it. Well, good thing, good news, we did pass the lit review. I'm also on a leave of absence from that program just to take a year. I got to catch my breath. We don't get into the fine details, but I'm still in the program. I'm just on a leave of absence, taking a little breaky break. But not from actually like being that PhD student. I'm still working on stuff. So that way, once I come back next fall, we're hitting the ground running. Like I'm trying to have dissertation proposal approved day one. So that way we start collecting data next fall and we doing the thing. We're getting out. I'm trying to graduate, y'all. But we are in year two at UO, and I got some changes that happened. So I'm in the Communication and Media Studies program within the School of Journalism and Communication. And generally, when you are in a program, you teach, have your TA or GE appointment within your program department. This year, I decided to be a little extra and I applied for a GE position outside of my actual department. And I applied for a position within the Women, Gender, and Sexuality Studies department at UO. And that is where I am this academic year. And I love it because obviously human sexuality is what my other PhD is in. So I actually get to spend time teaching and talking about sexuality related topics. But this isn't to say that, like, oh my gosh, Shabay, why would you not even do that if you're just going to not be in the department? Because that is what I want to teach. Like I want to teach around human sexuality and women and gender studies. So being able to gain that experience and put on my resume is super valuable now. And within the School of Journalism and Communication, I was teaching like writing classes, which are not things that I plan on doing when I actually get my PhD and become a professor in different educational institutions. So thinking ahead, because you know me, I'm a planner. I was like, let me go ahead and try and get the teaching experience on my CV that shows that I actually can do the stuff that I want to do once I actually graduate. So that's why. And I love it, especially because this first term, I'm actually like TAing a class, but then the next 2 terms this academic year, I get to be the instructor of record, which means that I teach the class how I want it. It's my baby. I get to do what I want to do. And that's really exciting, especially for someone like me who like has a degree in teaching because my master's is a master's of education. So like being able to develop my own syllabus and like create a class the way I want it to be has me through the moon. But enough about that. What's it like? What's going on with you as the PhD student, Gervais, not the teacher? So I'm in 2 classes this term. I am taking race and sexuality within the Indigenous Race and Ethnic Studies department at UO, and then I'm taking an ethnography class within the School of Journalism and Communication. Um, I don't know what to say. Like obviously race and sexuality, that's my jam. If you have ever talked to me about my research of what my dissertations are going to be, then you know that is like right up my alley. And ethnography, I really wanted to do because I like learning different research methods. Like I want to be a well-rounded researcher, and ethnography to me is a really interesting one. And I'm already in love with this class and the research project that I'm working on, but I'm not gonna tell you about it. I'm gonna wait until it's done and then I'm gonna tell you everything. But it's really exciting to like get to like dive deep into this research method because ethnography is like a very like it's a skill that you learn. Like you don't wake up and you're good at it. Trust me. I already had so many hiccups. But it's a really interesting research method because it involves so much. It's not just like doing a survey. Like it's not just like one single thing and that's how you collect your data. So I'm very excited about that. And because of it, I'm getting to actually gain this experience doing some research that I'm then going to submit to conferences, and like it's just like all sprinkling into like what I want it to be. So I'm very excited. I think year 2 is going to be great. I got a lot of goals, but like it's me. When do I not have a lot of goals? The biggest one's just being like submitting to like I want to say 4 or 5 different conferences and actually getting a paper accepted so that way I can present on it. Because again, your girl's trying to get a job when she graduates. I gotta build up that CV. Also because I'm a goal oriented person. If I don't have a goal, I'm more than likely not gonna like complete it. So being like, cool, all these papers I'm gonna submit to conferences, they're actually gonna get finished, which makes them more likely to be finished to a point where I can submit them to a journal, which is ultimately the goal. Because if you, it's like the whole public publish or perish thing. I don't like it, but it's the rules of the game, and I got bills to pay in this capitalistic society. All that to say, we're already starting. We're in week 4 now of the term. It's going. We doing it. We pushing through. We trekking along, and I'm excited to see what this academic year has to hold for me. But yeah, that's the quick and dirty update on what's going on over here with the soon-to-be Dr. Effin. If you want to follow along more closely on the journey, be sure to follow me on TikTok. That's where I share more stuff about my PhD experience than most other social media platforms. But definitely make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel because if you're not just like wanting to like follow along on me getting my PhDs, you can also get so much sex ed content because that's what I do. But yeah, that's that. I will see you later. Deuces.